Hi everyone, this is team number 7 and we will be talking about form chart completion and another topic that will be showed later on this video. Our team members are Ximena Miranda Reyes Lopez, Cynthia Esmeralda Villabazán, and me, Araceli Cruz Luna. Okay, so let's start. Well, first of all, welcome. We will talk about form chart completion. What is it? It is a format that is given with some empty spaces and other fillings to be helpful, and it only has to be completed. A characteristic of this activity is that the students can be writing and listening at the same time. Purpose. Students should be able to write and listen at the same time so that they can do the activity. Strategies and advices. 1. Read the instructions. Students have to read the instructions carefully and should pay attention to how many words are allowed to be written in the answer. For example, in the instructions, you can put write no more than 3 words or numbers for each answer. This will depend on the topic of the activity. Obviously, if the student writes more than 3 words, the answer will be incorrect, even if the information they wrote down in the activity is correct. 2. Search for a title. Not all questions will have a title, but if there is one, it will help you a lot in terms of the context of the question. For example, the sample question that has the title Pack-Em Shipping Agency Customer Quote Form, knowing the context, gives meaning to the information in the notes. This will help you understand the question and give you a great idea of what type of information will be contained in the recording. 3. Predict the answers. Get students to try to predict what the answers might be. This will focus their minds on what to listen for in the recording. Once in a while, students will be able to predict the actual word, but mostly it is one of these things that they will be able to determine. The type of information required, for example, last name, place name, date, phone number, zip code, percentage, price. The type of word required, for example, noun, adjective, verb. The answers to the form completion questions will generally be factual information, as listed in the first bullet above. Any clues you can obtain will help you understand the recording and identify the information needed for the answers. 4. Problematic vocabulary. There are 6 types of vocabulary that can cause particular problems for students, and some of them will definitely be present in the form completion questions, as we have just seen. The 6 types are time, numbers, prices, dates, letters, addresses. You should be able to recognize them in speech and write them correctly in your answers.
5. Synonyms and paraphrases. In all type of listening comprehension questions, you should be on the lookout for synonyms and paraphrases. These are something else you can predict. If you have time before the recording begins, scan the question to identify keywords or phrases that are likely to be replaced, be synonyms, and think of some that might be used. For example, the word bags could be used instead of containers. As you listen to the recording, remember that you are not only looking for the exact words used in the question, but also words and phrases that have the same meaning. 6. Beware of distractors. A distractor is a word or phrase that changes or corrects the original information provided. Therefore, it is possible that they may give you an answer and then take it away. Here are some examples of sentences that have distractor in them. I have highlighted the relevant words. I really like the blue blues, but I think I will go for the red one as it will go better with my skirt. The package contains clothes, toys, and 5 books. However, I will take the books off if their weight makes shipping too expensive. I'd like to order 2, please. No, wait a minute. I will take 3 so I can give one to my mom and sister. But and however are particularly common distractors, but there are many different words and phrases that can be used to change or correct a piece of information. So watch for them. 7. Answer order. The answer will come in the same order on the recording as they are listed in the question. So you will hear answer 1, then answer 2, and so on. This makes it easier to choose the answer than if they were a random order. 8. Guess if necessary. My final advice is to never leave a blank space of the answer sheet. If you miss an answer guess, this gives you at least some chance of getting it right. Don't worry about a missed answer, or it will affect your ability to answer the next set questions. Simple, make your choice and move on. Okay, so now we are going to see some examples of activities about the form chair completions. Here we have our activity 1, so I will read the instructions for you. Read the telephone conversation between Mike and Fred and fill in the blanks. Let's go with our second activity. In activity 2, the instructions say that you need to complete the school ID with your personal information.
And the second topic is labeling. But what is it? This is a while listening activity where students have to listen to someone or something. It can be a teacher or an audio that gives the information about the activity the students must do, and then they locate it on certain diagrams or images. The purpose of this type of activity is that the students should be able to respond to the activity using English vocabulary. And also, this activity is particular and useful in early stages of courses. For example, if the activity is for a map, it is almost always a person talking, such as a tour guide or someone showing people around a building. And sometimes you will be giving a list of words to match the gaps with. Other map tags only have one gap, so pick up the words to listen to alone. And then we have 7 steps to consider. Number 1. Read the instructions. It is very important because students know what they will do.
For example, write no more than 4 words, or write the correct letter, or write the correct number. It depends of the instruction. Number 2, observe clues on the text. This means that these phrases are likely to be used in the audio. For that reason, I consider that students have to put especially attention to these clues. Number 3, know nearby things. It means that students should look for close things. For example, if the activity is about a map, and if number 2 or 5 are next to their location, so they might be mentioned first. Number 4, listen for context. It is essential because if students know the context, they will know about the vocabulary and the activity will be easier for them. For example, if the context is the school, the vocabulary will be related to the school. For example, notebook, sharpener, book, and other vocabulary related to the school. Number 5, familiarize yourself with the language. This means that students associate the language with things that are easy to remember in their daily life. Number 6, be careful with spelling. I think that maybe spelling may be difficult for some students or maybe not, but I think students should check their spelling well for any mistakes at the end of the activity. And the last one, number 7, listen to sign language. And this point can be or not in the activities. Okay, so now we are going to see some examples of activities about labeling. Here we have our activity 1, so I read the instructions for you. After listening to the song Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes, which you can find in the first link of the description box of this video, fill in the blanks in the image with the vocabulary in the box below. As you can see in this activity, we have the image of parts of the body, and then we have the vocabulary. We have arm, leg, head, foot, eye, toe, ear, knee, hand, hair, finger, and shoulder. With this vocabulary, you have to fill in the blanks. Let's go with our second and last activity. In this activity, the instructions say that you need to listen to 2 friends who are visiting the second floor in the museum. Listen and label the plan below. Write the correct letter A to G next to 1 to 5. The audio for this last activity, you can find it also in the second link in the description box of this video. We have reached the end of this video. I hope that the information has been clear for you to understand it and that the activities have been easy for you to complete them. Thanks for watching.